The biggest national rail strike in 30 years has left train stations around Britain deserted today as millions of commuters heeded the government's advice and stayed at home. Some 40,000 RMT union members at Network Rail walked out over a long-running dispute about pay, jobs and conditions, and the coordinated industrial action also impacted the London Underground. The Transport Secretary has warned union bosses that ministers could change the law so that companies could bring in agency workers to minimise the disruption of future planned strikes. From today, US Customs will enforce a ban on imports from China's Xinjiang region in response to reports of forced labour. The ban intensifies pressure on Beijing over allegations of widespread human rights violations against Muslim Uyghurs and other minorities in the far west. The government refutes the claims of forced labour and says the West has misconstrued a rural jobs programme that aims to improve living standards for ethnic minorities in poor regions. Several imports from the resource-rich area have already been banned from America, including tomatoes and cotton. The French legislative elections, which concluded their second round on Sunday, spelled trouble for President Emmanuel Macron. His party has lost the absolute majority that it enjoyed for the past 5 years. Far-right candidate Marine Le Pen has expanded her party's foothold in the French parliament 11-fold, giving her and her party unprecedented new power. For more analysis on the results, I was earlier joined by Paolo Chiocchetti, a political scientist at the European University Institute. He joined me from Innsbruck in Austria.
Not unprecedented, but relatively rare situation in France that a winning president does not manage to get a majority in parliament. And it's quite likely that sometime over the next year, Macron will dissolve the parliament and call for a snap election. In this election, two groups gain a lot of votes and seats compared to last time. On the one hand, the NUPES, the left-wing coalition led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon, and on the other hand, Le Rassemblement National of Marine Le Pen. And they got 89 seats in parliament. That's really unprecedented. So far, in most of the time, they got 0, 1, a couple of MPs, and this time they really got up to 89. This was due to the fact that in most of the constituencies, in many constituencies, they managed to get to the second round. And in the second round, the traditional Republican front, which is typical in France, where everybody votes for the non-far right candidate to block Marine Le Pen's victory, failed to function. So in most of the cases, they managed to win in their second round duel against either the left-wing coalition or Emmanuel Macron.
Those are your main stories from London at close of business.